Hey, yo, Red, you remember the record?
Nah.
Wait, I haven't even mentioned anything.
What record you talking?
I'm talking about The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Of course.
Is that how that goes?
Of course.
Yo!
Of course. That's my junk.
Yo. What up, Cornerstoners? My name is Johnny Warbucks, and I'm here once again with Kalishnikov Red, and welcome to our 24th installment of Remember the Record. Today, we are talking about the iconic, genre-shifting hit classic, The Message, which was first released as a single back on July 1st, 1982.
Oh, snap.
Crazy, right? 10 days later, the Prodigy was born.
The greatest MC, of course.
But before we talk about any of that, we do need to do a little housekeeping over here to try to give them even more reasons to keep trying to steal our podcast money and give a couple of quick shout-outs, all right? Promotions, please. Follow us on Remember the Record on Instagram. Leave comments there, or our other social media pages to have your comments and questions read on future shows, all right?
Yeah, man, like for reals. And, you know.
We need more energy there. Also, remember the Record podcast on your favorite streaming platform. We need help seeing more followers, comments, ratings, and reviews on those platforms. So please do so if you haven't already. And if you like this content and want to see more of it.
And sorry, just keep in mind that the Rapper's Corner is a guest type of podcast. So if you guys are down, you guys want to get on the podcast, let us know.
Absolutely.
By sending your stuff to the Rapper's Corner podcast, rapperscorner.com or Gmail or Rappers.
We got the Rapper's Corner at gmail.com.
Gmail, yeah. So,
message us on Facebook or Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, connect with us. Let us know you want to be on the junks, man. You know, if your shit is good, then yeah, most def. If you give into community, most def. We're looking for guests. It's a showcase type show. We show, a couple songs and, let the people hear you, man. That's what's up. So go on with your thing, man. Just wanted to lay that.
So listen, man, follow the Rapper's Corner podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Be sure to check out the Rapper's Corner on YouTube, Facebook, IG, TikTok, and X. We just put out that Dopamine episode. That's the most recent episode. And so that's on YouTube right now. It's a really dope interview between Sir Puff-A-Lot and Dopamine. West Coast Cat.
Both of them
really cool.
Correct.
Really interesting. Actually, kind of inspired me to write like another verse like immediately afterwards.
And not to mention,
cool, he's talking about the writing technique.
And that's what I'm saying. He's on the thing, but not to mention now because he's been on the thing, it's vice versa. He wanted to work with us, we put him on the thing. But if you want to be on the thing and then work with us, that's all that. We down to work with you guys too, man. Rusty Jugs and Dopamine were people that came through the show, basically.
That's right.
So that's how we connect.
And as Red mentioned, we are looking for the next artist to interview on the Rapper's Corner for our October episodes coming up. So if you do have talent and you want to showcase it, you want to be heard, and you want somebody that's going to come out here and ask you some interesting questions, kind of gush and give you your flowers, that's kind of what the show's about. And so definitely hit us up through the channels that we've already mentioned.
And not to mention, but this is how we grow our community. Like, all the people that we talk about on the show, that's how we met the Rappers podcast, the Rappers Corner podcast, because that's how we roll, man.
That's right, man. That's right. So DM, you had mentioned it already, but we are working with Duck Down for also potential interview, but also some records that we're working on. I know that Puff already produced a couple of beats for Rusty Juts, and there's more to come with Rockness Monster.
Not to mention, we did. I mean, me, John, and Rusty have a song together. My production, and hell yeah, man.
Yeah, dude, we're excited about the collaboration. There's a couple other ones coming up too.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, so be on the lookout for those as they drop. You'll see those coming out of the Rapper's Corner camp. We'll be promoting all of that stuff as they appear. You can DM Sir Puff-A-Lot on IG. Or even Facebook for pricing on beats, features, mixing, writing, promos. He does it all. He will hop on board with you.
Yeah, man. Check him out. Check out the Rapper's Corner and Remember the Record.
Absolutely. Please support Remember the Record. And if you're enjoying the show, keep it going, man. I'm sorry, man. All right, look. So we got to quickly say something about Shoutout.
My man.
So by the time of this recording, it was only a few days ago, maybe even like yesterday. I can't remember now, man. It feels like it all just happened this morning, man, to be honest. But like, we found out that Chino XL passed away via suicide.
Yeah, man. So, you know, that's one thing that I like. You know, as a kid, you don't realize these things, but as you get older, you start seeing how like depression really affects people, and how well they hide it. But deep inside, it's still like that demon, that war that they constantly fight. And I've been there, and John's been there, like, and it ain't cool, man. You know, and especially it ain't cool when you think that you're alone, and that's what ends up happening. You think you're alone in those situations. Just remember that, like, I've been there. He's been there. Everybody that we know's been there. And I'm not degrading your suffering or anybody's suffering, but we can help each other. That's the main focus of what I'm saying.
This has to stop going unchecked, dude.
Yeah, man.
I mean, absolutely. The thing is when we saw him last year, man, he looked strong. He looked healthy.
The peak of his whole.
He looked great, man. He already overcame so much with his daughter getting cancer and her fighting through it and surviving.
Yeah.
He gets the word about, some sort of heart failure thing, right?
Yeah.
Some sort of thing.
Congenial
heart failure, right?
Yeah.
And I think that like really messed with him. But I mean, his daughter did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he leaves behind 5 of his children, man.
Again, there's no way we're condemning him or anything like that.
No, it's. I wonder, what could have been done, and it's just what it is. It's tragic.
It is,
and
tragic.
It's happening all the time.
And it's like something. It's kind of weird because if you think about us, right? We have our friends, we have our homies, like me and him, and our whole crew. And when we're sad, we try to pick each other up and all that shit. That's how we roll. Yeah. But when you have a person like Chino at that level, and you go to these shows and you see thousands of people loving you, but you know that there's a part of you that they can never touch, they can never reach. So that's the whole thing where it's you can be the loneliest guy with thousands of people, and that's such a stark reality. How you can be literally in front of thousands of people, and those people are screaming your names, and yet you still feel like you're the only one or alone, and nobody should feel that way, man. So
reach out, suicide hotline, reach out to us. It doesn't matter.
If you can't get those hotlines, reach out to us via email, whatever. But reach out, man. Reach out to somebody. Because
you're not alone.
We are losing too many good kings.
You're not alone, and your self-worth is more than you realize. It's not the suicide is not the way to solve your problems.
Nah, man. But
please reach out to somebody. Talk to somebody.
We'll see you when we get there, man.
Yeah, that's right, man. R.I.P. Chino XL.
Yeah, for real.
Now, on a less somber, but we'll keep it in the darkness. October is coming up, and so we are going to be featuring our annual horrorcore themed records for the show. Remember the record. So we hope to get a few comments from the listeners to read on episodes to come. We do plan on doing episodes this year for Brother Lynch Hung, 3-6 Mafia, DMX, Necro. So be on the lookout for that. And as we get closer to those shows, I'll reach out to y'all on social media to get some comments that we'll read on the show.
Some Evil Pimp too, man.
Yeah, man. Something.
Yeah.
Yo, there's a lot of cats, man. I mean, look, we do this once a week at best. If we can do once a week, we do once a week. And so we had to select from hundreds.
Yeah, that's true. Well, and
there's more to come. There's always more to come
every year.
And obviously, tell us, man, if we see a commenter that says, "Man, I want to hear this record," and we're about it, we'll do it. We'll cover it.
It's funny, kind of I always wonder, I make these beats for every episode. I'm I wonder how many beats I would make by the end of this whole thing. Thousands of beats.
Yeah, at least hundreds, man. Right now, dozens.
Yeah, I know.
Several dozens. It's amazing. Speaking of those commenters, we want to give a couple of quick shout outs. Before we start gushing over the message, we wanted to let our listeners say something about it, and we had a couple of cats comment through TikTok. Once again, Things Fatal. He's on board with this, man. Shout out to Things Fatal, man. My man came on the Rappers Corner. We did a really dope interview with him. It's a really great episode. You should check it out. But Things Fatal, he says, the message and problems of the world changed my brain chemistry as a child.
You know, I will agree 1,000% on that, but I won't say that until you finish your thing, man. But like,
We'll get into
I
it.
will agree with that 1,000%.
Thinks he's on point with it, man. There was another cat. It said user, a bunch of numbers, anonymous user. I tried to reach out to him to give him his credit so I could give him his props, but he didn't respond. But he says,
"What's up, user?"
Yeah. So what up, anonymous? But he says, got a bum education, double-digit inflation, can't take the train to the job. There's a strike at the station. Now,
on King Kong.
I don't know if like that's like your favorite bar from this song, or if it's just like the one that first came into your head. But that is a significant bar, and we will get into that
outside the rap thing.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. My man MF Matt with 4 T's.
4 T's.
Yeah, MF Matt. This introduced me to hip hop at a young age. So let me ask you. So I mean, we already we've shared on the show several times, like where we came out with this, but like, yeah, this is like at a young age. This is what you heard.
This is we're a little bit.
Yeah, we're younger. like my parents, if they were into hip hop, this is what they would have rocked out.
Like, yeah, my mom like she was in New York when this came out.
Yeah.
So like she would see the kids breaking and stuff like that, and like she heard all this stuff. But I came in '85, and like by that time, like it wasn't too far off. But I mean, I was still like a kid. I didn't really enjoy it. I was enjoying like, believe it or not, like George Michael's.
Yeah, man. Shout out to George Michael's, man.
But I didn't get to the age of like being into hip hop until like 88, 89 kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So this came out 82. I was already 3 years after. So
yeah.
You know, like it is what it is.
No, I love it, man. I love that this was your introduction because you got to like experience this now today from the ground up.
That's cool.
Like this is a good place to start.
And this is like one, in my opinion. I mean, you know, there's many different like background or ideas, but I don't know. For me, as a kid, I always thought this was the first rap song, and I'm also always going to believe this is the first rap song. I know I'm wrong.
But there's something to say about that, and we'll talk about it here in a minute. But look, Halvey, Hauvie, Halvey, right?
Mm.
He says even though the album was only bought or known because of the message, I loved it because of Scorpio.
Scorpio was a great song.
We were all breakdancing till midnight.
Halvey,
yo, he's ahead.
You know what it is. If you know what it is, you know what it is.
And what I really wish is, I wish you would have elaborated, like, because this is where I'm like, because like, yo, we came out here. We were up here, you know, and we were like a decade late into like the music scene, right? And so like you're breakdancing through midnight where? In the clubs, on the streets, at your house?
At the Latin Quarter.
In the quarter? Like where were you? Like that's I love this.
Yeah, man. And this brings us, and we're gonna speak on it on the show, but this brings us to the Get Down. You know what I mean? That whole time frame too, where like the buildings.
This is all starting to bubble up.
Yeah, man.
This is, and this whole album, and we'll get into it for sure. But and then the last comment, it was on Johnny Warbuck's Instagram, SRMG_RWS Radio. All right, so check out SRMG_RWS Radio. This album changed my life, all caps.
Again, this is one of those things where this has the power to do that.
Yo, one of the classic albums of my generation. I'm a huge fan of Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Because of them, I fell in love with hip hop.
Hey, and you can't go wrong with that. With that prime example of Grandmaster Flash, because of them, fell in love with hip hop. I mean, how could you not? You know what I mean? How could you not? Like, I'm saying, this is the magic in the making. This is when it was all in the stove in the fucking pot.
This is legit oven cooking.
This is the cooking. This is what.
I mean, it's cooking now.
Yeah, but no.
But it bubbles over after this.
This is cooking at that time. Now it's a thing. Now it's on the table. Now
$1 billion industry.
Yeah, now it's a thing. But this
global industry.
This is the beginning. So like we're talking about, you know, graffiti. We're talking breaking. About all core
elements.
All those motherfuckers. Grandmaster Flash, Core, everybody, man. Like this is that time. God, I wish only by like fucking like I was like 3 when I came here, so 85. So it's like if I was like 5 years older.
You could have been absorbing.
I got a cousin, man, who's like 3 years older than me. I'm like, you motherfucking rap bastard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was in the threshold.
Yeah, man.
The threshes. All right. So with all of that, thank you very much for leaving your comments. We're gonna give you a shout out in the show notes. We hope to hear from more of you as the show continues to grow.
Yeah, honestly, since we started doing this is one of my favorite parts.
I love reading the comments.
Yeah, I love it too because I love having this conversation. It's like when we have this conversation out there, comments. I feel like we're like having conversation with these cats.
That's why hopefully you come back and you listen to the show and you hear us, giving you this the shout out and doing this conversation because you're right.
Hopefully you don't.
Yeah, man. One time. Hey, that's like a little like foreshadow.
One time for your mind. One time for your mind.
There you go. Keep it in the Bronx, man. Let's keep it back here. Yo, so let's get to the stats. It's time, man. We're just gonna go ahead and break down everything, and then once we're done, we'll talk about it. All right. So here we go. This is The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. Okay, founded in the Bronx, 1978. Grandmaster Flash, Kid Creole, not to be confused with Kid Creole without that second D. All right, I want to say Kid Creole is related to Melly Mel, it's like his cousin or brother or something.
Maybe I'm not sure about that.
Keith Cowboy, rest in peace, Keith Cowboy. Melly Mel, Scorpio, Raheem.
Yeah,
that's Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. This was recorded in 1982 officially. The date of the single was released July 1st, 1982. All right, first album appearance was the self-titled The Message. The Message, October 3rd, 1982.
Yeah.
So
it's like right
there, man.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, man, if I had just been a little bit older, man.
Yeah, man.
A little bit older.
Sweet Mountain, Inglewood, New Jersey. That's where they recorded this out. Sweet Mountain recording studio. Big time Jersey scene studio. All right. The label, of course, released was... what am I doing here, man? It was released on Sugar Hill Records.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the stepping stone.
This is where I'm just like, man, like
we're back here.
First rap song, maybe debatable. Who knows?
Nah, man.
For me, it is, and I'll tell you why. But anyways, go.
We are gonna dissect
go forth,
this.
My child.
Produced by Jigsaw Productions. This is actually Clifton Jiggs Chase. He was born in 1940. Another Jersey famous producer there, and Sylvia Robinson, who is
she's
the godmother of this stuff, man.
It is what it is.
If it wasn't for her, so many of these acts wouldn't be where they are today. And she has an interesting backstory to how the song kind of finally went down too. But it was written, of course, by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. The original song is 7 minutes and 10 seconds. There are like 20 versions of this record. And so there are some that only got like 3 verses, some that have massive, long, big break beats, letting the instrumental play through, all kinds. But like the original length, 7 minutes, 10 seconds. The samples is blowing my mind.
Sugar Hill also had like the Rappers Delight.
Yeah. They had that one Monster Club version that was like 8 minutes, 10 minutes. Yeah, the long version.
Yeah.
I used to have that on like a playlist, and I was like, I need to correct that and find the other one.
With an S in his chest.
Yeah. I love the long version, but like it's what you're listening to.
Yeah.
It's designed to be danced to.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
The samples.
So, the samples, the main beat, I can't find anything about it anywhere.
Really?
It is as if Grandmaster Flash created that beat.
Well,
I can't find a sample anywhere.
We think about it, right? Like, how did Grandmaster Flash create the beats?
I mean, he went shopping.
Well, he did, but like...
He went shopping for breaks of all genres of music, man, and he would find those breaks. And
but you got to think about the time. All right, for instance, like, I just made a beat, right? And he heard it, and I'm sampling a rapper that's well-known, and he had his vocals just a little bit on the hook, and he was like, "What is that?" And I was like, "You know it." And he's like, "What is that?"
It sounded like it was just a part of the beat. I didn't even realize it was a phrase.
It sounds like it's a part of the beat. It sounds like it's the music of the beat. So, and this is 2024, where we have internet, we have like all the motherfucking data, the like shit that you don't see, like that the computer has, like the metadata, all that stuff. We're talking about 1982.
Yeah, but that's my argument. Is that
then,
now we have the ability to
dissect it.
So I mean, why hasn't it like in retroactively?
Oh well, now.
Well, because this isn't a well hidden piece. This is the beat.
No, you're right. You're right.
And I checked other like I checked the Ice Cube joints, the P Diddy joint. They all reference this.
Yeah,
it was sampled from this.
You know,
I don't know. Maybe he created it.
I actually sampled this song to create another beat.
Yeah.
And it was it's like The Message, but it's more like money orientated, like economics. Like talking about roaches on the floor and still feeling poor, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But I sampled it, right? And like I couldn't find any. I sampled this song.
Yeah.
So you know, it's I guess one of those songs where it's just like you maybe created that sound.
I'm asking. Look, I'm asking the listener today. Like, if you're able to let me know something, because if I don't know. Trust me, man. That's tough, man. Because I dig.
Because I mean, but you know, who knows?
Like, look. I mean, here's one I didn't know. You tell me if you knew this. Melly Mel's famous "Child Was Born," right? That verse, the entire verse, was previously released on a song that they did back in 1979 called "Super Rapper."
No, I know.
This is probably the most iconic verse in hip hop.
This is the verse that changed me and how I write.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and will change the genre. And we're gonna talk all about that here in a moment. But like, did you know that they already did it?
No, I have no idea.
So, and there's a whole backstory. We'll get to that in a second after the certifications and stuff. But the sirens. See, look, I can tell you this. The sirens at the ending of the song, blaring in the combo, where the altercation with the police unfold. Get in the car. Get in the car. It's a sample from Jack Holzman's Authentic Sound Effects Volume 3. It was titled "Fire Engine Passes with Bells Clanging." I can tell you that.
You can't tell me.
I can't tell you what the.
Well, there you go. See, this is a mystery.
The car skid and crashed in that altercation. Yeah. Also from a Jack Holzman's original sound effects, but it was Volume 1.
Volume 1, damn, all right.
It's called the Car Skid and Crash.
The detail, sorry, all right.
You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you that.
Well, you know, well, all right, I will say this. That sound, that specific sound, yeah, and I think Grandmaster Flash is playing his cards right here. Because he's like, I'm not gonna, this is the secret.
I mean, that's what it is, right?
This is a secret.
There's no way he conducted this. Like he's
no. What I think happened
with what he had available to him.
Yeah,
this is a sample.
Yeah, but made into a music thing. So like,
I don't know.
Because like, all right, look, like I sampled another song on that song you heard yesterday, and that sample is I can't remember right now because it was like it was 4 a.m. All right, get out of here. Yeah, man. But like,
here's a small 50.
Here's a small 50. Keep quiet. All right, nobody knows nothing. Nah. So I did this. Hey, get out of here. So I did this, and there's like the sample. The beat is so sped up.
Yeah.
The tempo and once you hear the sample, you're like, that's not it. Because instead of going boom, boom, it's boom, 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 boom. So now that boom, boom becomes an actual sound. So I'm like, okay, like this. There's a difference between sampling "A Child Is Born with No State" or "My Child Was Born with No State" as creating a different sound.
Yeah, 100%.
So there is like that's
on one of my old records back in the day, I created a background sound that sounds like you're warping through the world or whatever, and all I did was go into the mic and like inhale like and then slowed it down, reverbed it, and gave it sound effects, and it sounds like sound effect. Maybe
that's why it's hard to find it. I think
he definitely, because in a lot of his interviews he's talking about how he slows this down, how he chops it at this exact point. So like it's possible, but it just feels like something like whosampled.com would have it at the top of its list, and it's not there.
No,
and it's not them. It's nowhere else. I haven't seen it.
He's keeping the cards close to his chest because this is a secret that like, and you hear like Ice Cube did it, and like there's I want to say somebody new just did it.
Yeah, a young lady. I forgot her name.
Yeah.
Shoot, I forgot her name. I should have added her because we're going to be talking about the games. Definitely other people who will use this.
Yeah.
Shoot, I left her off the cards, man, and that's no good.
Well, you know, we'll never forget Ice Cube's name. We'll never forget Grandmaster's name, but we'll forget somebody else's name.
Oh, man, whatever. Hold on, man. You don't know that. You can't say it.
Hey, hold on.
So listen, charts, man. Number 62 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. It was number 4. God, man, 70s. Number 4 on the U.S. Hot Black Singles.
Another one.
This is that era, dude. You know, I mean, moving forward, like some of these later records, we probably won't be talking about the Hot Black singles.
Yeah, guys, Salsa came out in that time. Yeah, the Hot Brown singles.
You know what I'm saying, man? It's crazy. Number 12, U.S. Billboard Hot Dance Club Play Charts. This is a song that like became infamous, right? Like over the course of time. Like it's crazy. I mean, number 4 on the charts, whatever. Number 12 on the dance, but like that's low for what this is.
You got to remember at the time, man. Which
this is also like brand new.
The Get Down talks about it. How you taking disco? How you taking this and making that?
Yeah.
There was a lot of flack.
There was a lot of flack.
You know what I mean? A lot of people didn't like that.
Interviews about this song, like he's explaining, like you see, and now they're doing what they're calling rapping. They're introducing it. Like it's brand new.
Yeah. Like so,
I love it.
So you know, the flack is understandable, but in a way at the time too. I'm not saying it's right, but I mean in the 70s. Come on. Yeah. But hey, that shit goes into the 90s too. So like that whole anti-fucking rap, all that shit goes into the 90s.
As it evolved and became gangster rap.
So what are we talking about? 70s, 80s, 90s, 3 decades of war
like,
with the government.
Yeah.
Until like the 4th decade, where now it's commercialized and everybody in the fucking hearing.
But it still has its drama, man. I mean,
of course, but it's not the feds.
Right.
Go ahead.
Right. Let's get into some side notes, and so we can wrap up this segment. We can get into talking about it. So it was Sylvia Robinson, R.I.P., who added Melly Mel's "A Child Is Born" verse to the song. So everyone in the group auditioned. That's what they had to do. This is an interview. I want to say it was Raheem that did the interview. He auditioned to be on the record, and so it was actually Raheem who spit that verse on the original. You know, citing that the song was basically kind of done already. And so when he auditioned, he thought that the verse from that song fit what they were doing here. And so he rapped it, and Sylvia rocked with it. And so then Raheem, of course, was like, well, Melly Mel wrote that. You know, that was Melly Mel's verse. He's the one that performed it on the other thing. And she was like, yeah, let's do that, right?
Yeah.
So,
fucking great call.
Yeah. It was a record previously recorded called Super Rappin'. Sylvia agreed to have it added to the song. So the message began its life, like fully written, 1980. And was an actual direct response to the New York City transit strike. So they were like, they had it up to here. And they were like, don't push me anymore. Like,
so that's interesting, a direct response.
Yeah.
The workers' rights.
Yeah.
But that's cool.
Yeah, isn't that cool? I had no idea. The message is credited as being the catalyst that brought hip-hop out of the dance party, out of that braggadocious into the conscious stream of thought, right?
Yeah.
Because of this, we get... You know, Public Enemy, KRS-One, we get Nas, we get all of the rappers. We get Kalashnikov Red. You know what I'm saying? Like that's 100%. Like, of course. But the other part that is well known is the shifting the focus from the DJs entirely towards the words and thoughts of the MCs.
This changes everything at that time too.
Because there's a lot of records like Grandmaster, The Adventures of Grandmaster,
Flash the Wheels. Great
record, right?
Love that shit.
But like, and songs like Scorpio, where it's more like that, Electro, right? But this is more about what is the MC got to say, and this is what creates the rapper. Like the rapper
change the genre.
This is genre shift. Yeah.
Man.
The song has been sampled, remixed, reimagined by hundreds of artists, featured in video games like Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Infuser. I mean, it's been referenced in everything from street murals, commercials. It was referenced on Hamilton, the Broadway show. It was even referenced on the children's CGI animated film Happy Feet, the little penguin.
Damn.
You remember them?
Yeah.
I've never watched it, so I don't know the reference.
Watch those things.
But you know, and of course, the famous, the Get Down on Netflix, like a huge thing, right? But this is showing up on several recognizable platforms as the top 50, 25, 10, 5, 1 songs of all time. Continues to show up on top 10, 5, 1 hip-hop records of all time list to this day. And in 2002, its first year of archival, it was one of the 50 recordings chosen by the Library of Congress to be added to the National Recording Registry. All right, it was the first hip-hop record ever to receive this honor. And placing its significance, think about this, these like 50 songs like or clips or whatever. We're talking about God Bless America. We're talking about Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech.
Oh, sure.
And we're talking about the message, the fucking message. You know what I'm saying? Like, and by 2007, Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five were the first hip hop act to ever be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Okay. Yeah,
so I mean, you tell me how important this is. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about
so like I like I said, I came here in '85. Right?
Yeah.
And I was 3 years old. So the song had already been doing its thing for a minute. My mom was 20 when she had me. So like she was still young, like, and coming to New York and seeing the breaking and the graffiti and all that stuff. Like, again, like I wasn't here at that time. I was in Ecuador. So like, I wish I was here because my mom would tell me like these kids would just be like groups, gangs of kids, be like with cardboard, like carrying cardboard, just putting it on the street corner and just going at it, right? What a beautiful time that was, man.
Yeah.
So like I like you in this sense, I came into the game late, like 2-3 years late. You know what I mean? After the song came out. So like again, but this is relatively speaking because it's early for him. But so I remember hearing this and like it was so real. It was the first time that I actually heard something real. Like everything else was like, yeah, I relate to that. Yeah, there's this, that. But when you hear that, even as a little kid, because we weren't rich, you know what I mean? So like, I saw like the things that he's talking about. I lived in New York just a little bit, then came to Virginia, and like people pissing on the streets, they're like, just don't care. That's for real.
That's DC
like,
sometimes.
That's DC, but I remember
Baltimore for sure.
I remember going to Manhattan. My grandfather, he got a spot in Manhattan, and like his apartment complex, like it was a beautiful interior. I remember it was a beautiful interior. It's like marble, but you smell the piss, and they like we're walking up the stairs because the elevator didn't work, and you see these guys just pissing. You know what I mean? So this is the time that like I was just like leaving that era. Like when I got here,
culture.
Like when I got here, it was like New York was still like very rugged and very rough, but it wasn't the 70s and it wasn't the 80s. When it really affected me was like in the 90s. So like people like when I remember going to New York, like going back to New York, because like, when I came here it was like just a little bit, but going back the first time. It was probably, I was listening to Chuck Brock at the time.
Yeah, sure, man. Yeah.
So, like, Grandmaster Flash was, again, at the time, like, it was real to me, but then it became, like, as I heard it and then I got older, I was like, yo, this is it. This is the #1 song that in the fucking world to me. Like, a child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. I mean, just that alone, you're like, fuck.
Paints the whole
picture. Fuck, and then, like, everything else in that song, not just on that verse, but in that song, and then the beat. The beat is just one of those beats where it's like
infectious.
Yeah, and like I remember seeing the video, and I was like, "This is so cool!" Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like because I remember glimpses of that, but I didn't live that, and New York was still rugged and wild, but it wasn't like the '70s, and we see that in the Get Down. You know, we see like how New York was and why the message came out, why like the break from even including you still using disco beats, the break from that that world into like something more grimy, and like from the get-go, I mean you still had, you know, your Sugar Hill Gang, all that stuff, but from the get-go it's like you had, you know, a Rapper's Delight, but you had the message, and it was like synonymous. It was like you couldn't have the happy without the sad, or the real without like the just relax and letting go. And that's hip hop, you know what I mean? To this day, I mean, and some choose to go more one route than the other route, but and then you have people like LL Cool J who does right like both
in both lanes, and creating his own
consistently for 5 decades, right? Yeah, creating his own. That's what I'm saying. But none, not me, not LL, not at Rakim, not anybody would be existent if it wasn't for like
100% agreed. 100%.
Because even Cool Herc, at the time of Cool Herc, it was more just the break beats, dancing, the graffiti, the turntable.
He was the rapper.
Yeah, he was the MC.
Turn it up, like
he was the MC, and you hear that a lot in dance on the old school Jamaica style too. But there was no there was no rappers. I mean, you had little crews here and there, and then like it started catching on. And then you come with this, and it's like the lyrics are like, what the fuck? Because up to that point, I don't remember. I mean, I may be wrong, but I don't remember hearing a song as profound as this. I mean, Yeah, I remember hearing Sugar Hill Gang with an S on my chest. I don't want to eat that chicken no more. You know, like that.
Baby Bubba, we still friends.
Yeah. But so this was still kind of all right, cool, like it was feel good type shit. This was like I'm watching the news and I'm listening to this. And I'm seeing the same thing. You know what I mean?
Your Birth and Treacherous 3 after this.
Yeah. You said
everything is coming through after this. Like I mean, imitated but never duplicated.
So then, like, you know, growing up and then like having Cube as one of my like favorite rappers, and then him being so West Coast to like West Coast.
Come out here with Check Yourself.
Yeah. And then I'm just like, and he does it so fucking on point. Like, I love the way he flows. I love like everything with Daz effects. It's so on point.
So cool.
But then like I hear Puffy and he's going back to New York.
Okay.
And I'm like,
okay. So remember, I'm behind the curve here. My first time experiencing this record is Puff Daddy and Mace, right? Like I hear this record, and at the time I think we're kicking it.
John, you got diddled.
Fuck out of here! We ain't talking about that. Look, I know it's a confrontational.
No, we all got diddled by the
Oh my land, God! What are you talking about?
No, think about the music.
Okay, yeah. Look, I was a bad boy head though.
We all were.
So let me tell you. So believe you me,
we all got diddled.
Jesus Christ. Believe you me, after all of that, when that album came out, I bought that album right.
What is that? Drew Mafia was that? Or?
No, that was definitely the P Diddy and the Fam.
Oh,
No Way Out.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, that was like the big single off that, and then the Victory with the rock.
Yeah.
So like this song. And I'll be missing you, Jesus.
Of course.
But like, but so this song comes on, and you know, you got Puffy and Mace, they're in the desert, and it's this funky ass beat, you know, and they take that riff from that one.
Hold on, you told me this is the first time
I had ever heard it.
You haven't? You Ice Cube?
No, hold on. Now I'm gonna take because you don't remember. Clearly, you remember the record. You don't remember the.
I remember the record.
Yeah. Let me tell you this. So I'm listening. I'm loving this song. This is like, can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no. But like, no, I'm saying the original shit. You don't want to do the Puff Daddy one? You don't want to be Puff? Yo, Mace was so smooth and shit. Yo, but so the real talk though is that, you know, I'm like, yo, have you heard this new Puff Daddy shit? This shit is fucking mad fire. And you come at me and you're like, man, fuck that shit, man. Like, because you're the one that explains that, like, man, no, this is what you need to hear is this fucking Ice Cube shit. But this is how it's supposed to be done. And you got me listen to Check Yourself. And check yourself before you wreck yourself. You to check yourself. Yeah, nothing new about Red. Red's always been like this, man. But like so he schools me on the Ice Cube joint. And even then, like, by the time I'm hearing this, you show me that, you show me Bob Gun, it's all the same album, whatever. And like, I still didn't study that portion of Ice Cube until later. Like, I just heard like the singles or whatever. Didn't know about even this until like one day watching a BET, top 100 greatest rap songs of all time. And it's in like the top 10 somewhere up there, right? Mm. And the video turns on, I hear the beat and I'm like, yo, this is the beat from Puff Daddy, whatever. This is the Ice Cube beat, right? Like, and I'm listening to it, and I see the video. And one, I mean, like, it's like
it's real.
It's late 70s, 80s,
yeah.
And so the outfits are insane to me. Yo, like if you saw there's a meme here where it's like
the VHS quality,
right? It's like really gritty and grimy. But you could totally see somebody making some meme being like, gay guys heading out to the club, like whatever, because they got some wild outfits, bro. But like it's that era, and that's what it is. It's like the leather and all that. We could get into the video since we're already here. But like it was directed by Alvin Hartley. The only thing I've seen that he's done, Houdini's Magic Wand.
Okay.
Which is wild. Like, if you want to see like the embodiment of early '80s, you should go.
I haven't seen that.
You need to go watch Houdini's.
But I got their vinyl.
It's a great record.
Yeah. I haven't seen the video though.
Mr. Magic and Rap Attack and all that. So it's a little legitimate piece of history, but But the video, man, is
I'm gonna check it out.
It made me smile ear to ear the whole time I watched it. It is insane. This one, yeah, it's the era. So like you get that like super early screen flip graphic bouncing between the video and the title card,
of course,
with like that electric red, yellow, and it's just like Grandmaster Flash, Fierce 5, the message. And we start with Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel. They just like walking down the street, and they got their like really flashy suits on, tight leather suits. But like Mel's got like this gigantic boombox that he's just like carrying over his shoulder.
With his hat, with his leather hat.
Yeah, and it's like, what is that? It's like a parade.
It's like a
military.
It's
so dope though, man. And he's like chained, like he looks like he
he's got gauntlets on.
Like he's taking somebody out.
Yeah, man.
He's putting them in the hospital with a pimp slap. Yo. So we get the faded, grainy, like off-shaded filter, and it's just showcasing, like you said, like it's real shit. It's showing the Bronx, the streets, the project houses. Like it looks like the burnt down buildings. That look like it looks like a bomb went off.
Like a war zone.
It looks like a war zone. I mean, like when you see like newsreels about what's happening in Iraq or whatever, they look like the projects in the Bronx.
Yeah, and then like you have a whole.
Isn't that crazy? People were born living in this shit.
Man. That's what I'm saying. It was 70s and into the 80s, and
so ridiculous.
I mean, the mob and everything.
Yeah. Oh my God! And like you see all of it in the video. I mean, this and if I start giggling about some of this stuff, it's just because it's kind of funny to me now. But like, this was some real shit. But like, yeah, we witnessed, a glass being broken everywhere, right? That's like broken glass everywhere. We focus on Melly Mel. He's hanging out around like a stoop, rapping, but he's just like next to the stoop. You don't really see the stoop yet, but he's like there in the stoop. And it's just like trash and tagged up, and it's he's the dirty street corner. And the camera pans out to show the rest of the crew, and they're on the stoop. Midway, we'll get this image of the album cover, the message, right? But it's like, again, we're one of the burnt down buildings. So
they have like the trash can.
Yeah, there's like a trash can right there. Well, it's not burning. That cliche hasn't happened yet. But there is a trash can. It's like, or an oil can. It's like laid out, and it's like each guy materializes.
With their pose,
and they until they form the album cover, right? Like, which is pretty well. I love that bit there. So that's happening in front of that destroyed project building. Everything Melly Mel and Duke Booty rap about, they'll show actual. It's actual live footage.
Right. So people walking.
So this might sound funny the way I'm saying it. But this is like,
destruction, like
you get the mass amount of cars, the people, the homeless woman living out her bag, the entrance to the peep show.
Yeah.
Woman on the payphone talking to the bill collector, scaring her while Booty Duke isn't home.
Yeah.
You got kids running out of the park because it gets crazy after dark. You got police over top of people that they just accosted. Like you see bodies on the ground. Like you don't know what happened in the scene. But it's the real shit. It's a documentary.
Right, documentary rap.
Bro,
that's what it is.
Images of like, look, you see number book takers, you see thugs, pimps, pushers, big money makers. Look, you see them all. You get Melly Mel raps when he does that whole "Child Is Born" verse. This is notable because the majority of his verse, it just focuses on him and Flash on the street corner, right?
Yeah.
And like, I mean, there's like brief interruptions where you like see like police cars, Yeah. It's just his face or him just right. It shows them, and it keeps slowly like getting closer and closer to just Melly Mel, right? But like, yeah, and it's just the only interruptions are you see like cop cars like interrupting, shit in the city or whatever. But like, it's on them. But then there's like this really bad cut, back in the, just like, all right, we'll cut it right here,
Yeah.
But they're in the same spot, kind of teleporty. But like,
hold on, there is one scene in the video where I love, and it's I don't know why, but it's just goes so well with the music. There's like two black ladies walking, and all of a sudden she stops and kind of just does a little jiggle, like a little dance, and then like just keeps walking.
Yeah,
but that little dance
with the music,
it goes so good with the music. I'm like,
excellent,
perfect,
solid cut by that. Harley will give you that.
Perfect.
But so like at the ending of it though, like after the bad cutscene, whatever. The whole crew is gathering on the corner, like, and they're like basically reenacting the ending of the song. And so while they're all like walking up and chopping it up with each other, police show up out of nowhere, and like they roll up on the car and they accost them for no reason, right? And like they grab all 6 of them and throw them into the back seat of the police car and like shove them in like a clown car.
Get in the car.
Yeah, and you watch all 6 of these big fucking dudes like clown car into this police car, and like one other cop like comes around and then they drive off.
I love that.
It's so crazy.
He's like, officer, what's the problem? What's the problem? You're the problem.
You're the problem. I can't remember. Once we get into the lyrics, man. I'll read some of the actual.
It's like, did you hear she got killed?
Yeah, he's talking about some girl or something.
Yeah, man.
Okay, so let's do this thing. So like usually when we do highlighted lyrics, we like to point out like parts that are worth, the things that we rock with.
Do we have time? Because I don't think we really talked about your.
The only time, I mean, look, my major experience. What I'm trying to tell you is that like again, like I heard this Puff Daddy thing, then I heard the Ice Cube thing. Then I see in its entirety like the origin story, right? And when I watch this, I'm like enamored by it because it's like it's such a period piece in a way.
Yeah.
And that is where I started being like, wait, so this is like where this is all like started, right? Like, and I dig deeper in to that era. So like a lot of the golden era stuff, like before I got into that, it was the radio hits.
Right.
So like I was really into like like
Michael Jackson.
Well, yeah,
George Michael.
And before we cut this off, we need to actually talk about the album. We have to talk about the album. You want to talk about the album? Then get into the lyrics.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. So the album,
bro.
Okay,
period piece of its time.
Yes, exactly. I will say this: it wasn't what one expects from hearing the message, but it was what one expects from hearing the message.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, it's the most hip hop, non-hip hop record I've ever heard.
So there's
super
like Scorpio, see, they don't have it on this, but like for me, it's Survival.
Yeah.
And White Lines, which is another one they don't have on this.
Yeah, that's later.
But that's later. But you hear that in here.
That era. Well, and like the group coming together to
but then you hear something else.
Man,
where it's a lot of like singing.
Dog, I'm hearing. Hold on, I'm hearing Rick James.
Yeah.
I'm hearing Earth, Wind and Fire. I'm hearing Jackson 5.
You're hurrying.
I'm hearing Jackson 5.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I'm hearing I'm hearing Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, that whole time frame.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it is a disco electric funk
with essences of what
early hip hop
and what hip hop will become.
DJ.
There's like beats.
Album.
There's beats in there where you're like, okay, I've heard this like
right.
20,
Every Mountain.
30. Yeah.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
Yo, come on, dog.
So you hear it. Many different songs come out of this album from many different artists. This album, it's a timepiece, as he says. So it's like you kind of have to be in that time frame to like really, really get down on this album.
I think I would really love to see this live.
Yeah, but see, like for me, I really got down with, I would say an even half of the album.
Look, I mean, there's just some parts that have me going, what's going on, bro?
Yeah.
Like Dreaming is 100% the original standard.
Yep.
They are rapping about how much they love Stevie Wonder. They're not. I'm sorry, they're not rapping. They singing, and they sing in the vein of. I mean, like adjacent.
Yeah.
It's not great. But it's not meant to be. It's sort of like when Biggie did that one song on Life After Death where he's singing. Better, but my point is it wasn't meant to be like check out my pipes. What, play a hater or whatever?
I love that shit.
Yeah. Let open your door. Get out of here, man. You like that?
I love it.
You've been wrong.
like we just heard Snagglepuss.
No, he's great.
There's a rapper out there that sounds like
literally is like, I'm gonna, like, he's at 7-Eleven, he's like, I'm gonna leave some steak left, you know. Be like, what'd you just say to me? Snagglepuss? Be like, that sounds like a good name. I'm gonna call myself that. Like, no, straight up, the dude sounds like it. It's a brilliant way to like just like tap into like what you probably picked on a bully for. Right? Like you're like, fuck you, I am Snagglepuss.
And he does it so like perfect.
Amazing.
And when I first heard it, I was like, is this really
I thought it was a parody, like a Humpty Dance thing, right? But that's the way dude raps, and he's actually really nice. But
No, but going back to the album,
the Stevie Wonder thing really blows my mind because, like, I mean, that's where that MJ that Jackson 5 thing comes into play. Because, like, at the very ending, you hear, like, is it Kid Creole? I don't know who it is. It might be Cowboy. I don't know. But one of them are like they're looking up, you know. To Grandmaster Flash, like he's a father, and he's like, Grandmaster Flash, he's like, yes, will we ever get to meet Stevie? He's like, one day, I hope so. So you know, like it's crazy, and it's just like, Stevie, we love you. Like I can't wait to meet you one day. I'm watching you from the window. Like it's very stalker, and look, I mean, but the problem is it's really wholesome.
Yeah, no, it's.
What was the one at the ending of the Red album? What's the name of the joint at the ending? Not the Wheels, not the one before that. Literally talking about Jesus Christ.
I can't remember the name.
It's almost like gospel record. It's like, God, Jesus Christ, thank you for being in my life. And you're like, I'm like, what? I mean, because it's the message.
But see, but then you hear this as well, like down, like for instance, like Goody Mob, right? Like CeeLo, like you hear.
I hear what you're saying,
but you don't expect it.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yeah, but you hear it's like that's why I say like this album is the beginning of many different albums.
Oh, so many different things. Man.
So many different things. You're right. So many different things from like the time of R&B to mixing with hip hop. Like that whole like era comes from this album specifically. Like, you hear a lot of singing and then you hear like rapping, and it's like, wow, like I did not. No, I came into the album thinking it's gonna be all
this is such a lawn party album though. Like you could just put this out and like barbecue. Or like I said, I'd love to see this like at like one of those like lawn seating concerts.
You could do that with Sugar Hill.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. And so like in an interview, Melly Mel says he didn't even want to do the message because he was all about the bragging, the partying. That was his stuff. And he was like, do we really want to do something that's just like honest? And like he was pushed it. It was Sylvia that pushed it.
Yeah. Well, Sylvia, I mean, like I said,
God bless, man. But I'm just saying, man. Like, I mean, because you listen to like She's Fresh.
Fresh. Yeah.
That sounds like you could funky 4+1 this year. Like, you know, like you could Sugar Hill Gang it.
Yeah. There's a lot.
It's nasty.
But
like,
see, this is the time frame. This is what I'm saying. So it's like, you know, like it's weird because like at the very beginning, because nobody really knew what it was. Like a lot of people would say you have like a lot of variety, but really, the very beginning, I don't think you had much variety because if you listen to like Sugar Hill, you listen to like all the heads.
All do sound very similar. They're all pulling from the same disco.
Yeah, and they're all like trying to figure it out. The variety comes in the '90s. Like the 80s, I feel like still all of them sound pretty much like. I
mean, people will debate, be like, "Man, that's when all the gangsters and killing police and hating women." Like,
no, I mean, you have like Tribe Called Quest, you have Common.
I agree.
No, but that's what I'm saying. That's the people that don't know. So that's what I'm saying.
No, you're right.
Like,
I guess that would happen with all the all
for us. Like, at least for me, it's like Curtis Blow, like all those heads, like Fat Boys. All of them kind of had this like one sound. The way they flowed. The way they like did their backups, like actually, Fat Boys was more like Run DMC. That's when things started changing.
Because you have your beatboxers and you have your rock guitars.
But then you have Curtis Blow.
African Bavada was the electro funk and all that stuff.
But Curtis Blow still had that.
Everybody,
the breaks,
almost like ringleader. Like,
all these MCs on the street, you know, like that kind of like.
Two girls round the outside.
When the voice goes like this.
Yeah.
You know,
everybody.
Yeah. So you have that in a lot of like 80s, like from everybody.
And this album does a lot of that.
I mean, everybody, like at the time, really did that. And then like you have where it's like, I'm the king of rock.
It starts getting more gritty.
You start changing it.
Then you get into the rock camp.
And then you get into that's when, that's.
I would argue, like you say, the 90s. I say right before.
Yeah,
right before
88.
Yeah, like 88. and then coming and then moving forward to like 96.
Yeah, at the very end of the 80s. That's what. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like you.
In my opinion, the best stuff.
And we came from this transition era, so it's like, and when we go through, we're actually going through 3 transition eras. Like we've gone through this whole like, I'm the king of rock, and we've gone to the whole like, a child is born with no state. And we've gone to the it's the first of the month, it's the first of, and then now you have like
this.
So we have actually gone through 4 transitions.
Yeah, we did get to see almost all of it, in real time.
Yeah, no, and the skills, how they,
the evolution of it.
Yeah, man.
Like where it goes from here.
But it all for me started with a child is born with no state of mind, and that's one of the lyrics that like I honestly got to get that tattooed on the back of my back.
Right? Like, yeah, let's talk about the lyrics a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and sing this song to y'all, man.
But we got to explain.
We got to get to certain parts, man.
But we got to explain that. Like we highlighted the whole.
Usually we highlight a couple of bars, man, but like it feels like when I was reading through it, like verse 1, I'm like, well, no, that's because like again, you're right. This is like the iconoclastic, like this is the beginning. This is where the epoch like bubbles over, right? Like it starts off broken glass everywhere, people pissing on the stairs. They just don't care. This line is iconic.
Can't take the man.
Yeah, right, like. Talking about the smell and the noise,
and it puts you in New York at the time.
Rats in the room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with a baseball bat. Damn!
And this is
real shit.
This is like when you look at Beat It, right?
Right.
You have like these gangs in the alleyways with the leather and like the little.
That's a good example. Those outfits.
Yeah. But this is at the time of the Warriors.
Yeah.
And this is the time of Africa Bambaataa and so many
Zulu Nation.
Many different gangs coming.
This was real problems.
So this was for reals. And then I love how instead of shooting each other, it was like,
yeah, we're gonna do knife fights.
No, not even break fights.
Well, in real life, for these guys. Well, thank you, Africa Bambaataa, for that.
Right.
Bringing everybody together and trying to bring peace and create something out of it. And look what they did with it. I mean, look what he did with it. But look what they did with it.
Yeah, no, that should never be tainted for what his sins were.
No. Sins of the father lay with the father. Don't
that organization really saved many people's lives.
Man.
So mad props to that organization.
But so and of course the hook is iconic. Don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
One thing I really had, I really had a problem with making the band. When Puffy had
made him go down the street to get the balloons,
the
Cambodian breastloaf.
Well, no,
that's 100% pure Cambodian.
They had to.
That's what's hot in the streets.
Diddle. No, so
doing your taxes.
So they had to
checking the numbers.
I remember they had to memorize rappers.
Yeah.
And not the message.
Why not the message?
And I was so heated.
I remember, I felt the same. I think we had that argument. We're like, what the fuck are they doing rappers delightful? Yeah. Just because it would look silly.
Yeah, no. And be like, oh, if this was on TV and they memorized that shit.
The message they could have actually sent. They could have done something.
Man, with the original heads coming in, man. Forget about it, man. I was so heated. Damn you, Diddy.
And
there's so many things.
So many things to damn you for, Diddy. Let me
see.
Boys. Crazy lady living in a bag, eating out of garbage pails. Used to be okay, so listen. Back in the 70s and 80s and 90s, probably a lot today even, things were just a little bit more comfortable.
I will say this. I would say things out of comfort back in the day on some of my songs.
Yeah, me too.
And I have corrected that by not deleting it because I will never delete my lyrics.
Yeah, that's a piece of archival history. I'm sorry.
But
sure.
Reversing it so nobody understands what I'm saying, but they know what I'm saying.
Or at least you just admit, as a grown man, coming to the fact that we make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll be clear on that shit.
Things change, we change. Did we say things? Of course, it was the time.
You sound like so slow. I can change. You can change.
Oh my God! Which one was that? Was that the fifth one? Yo,
wicked old chick.
that was like during the time of such a huge war. It was like a Cold War. The Cold War. It was a huge war. It was a Cold War. It was a long war. But yeah, yo, man, he was like just a big like random political like just a PTA, a PSA, a PTA message.
Yeah.
No, public service, PSA, public service announcement.
There's like a public
PTA's for schools.
but then there's like something affection. Public shows of affection. So
No.
that could also be PSA.
Well, whatever, man.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah,
PSI, man.
Yo, back to Sylvester Stallone and hip hop.
No, man, back to the hip hop period, man. Like, I'm trying to get down to the Peep Show, watching the Creeps. Let me see here. Like, so went to the city. Oh, so Sadiddy. What about that phrase, man? So Sadiddy.
Okay, so for me, like, I watch a lot of.
Not familiar with this slang at all, man.
You're not?
I don't think I've ever heard anybody say it.
Sadiddy's like bougie. Like,
okay, got so Sadiddy. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
like.
But she had to get a pimp because she couldn't make it out.
Yeah. See, like, I grew up watching the Jeffersons and what's happening a lot.
Equivalent, man. Besides bougie.
And they would say, "Oh, you Sadiddy now."
Word. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Like that kind of.
Okay. Man, I miss certain boats, man. That's for sure. Okay.
Jefferson's moving on up.
Yeah. Okay. See, this is why we have to talk about this, man. There are certain pieces of this stuff, like big Duke Booty. He opens it up about his brother. He's like, my brother's doing bad. Stole my mother's TV. He says she watches too much. It's not healthy. All my children in daytime, Dallas at night.
Can't even see the game
of the Sugar Ray fight. Yo,
all those three things.
Yo,
Sugar Ray, all my children, and Dallas.
Yo, come on.
Gigantic thing.
Yo, yeah, I know. And that's the thing is like when someone hears this bar, they're like, I don't understand. Whatever. You don't realize how this was life.
Mad at Dallas City.
And this is around the time, you couldn't stream anything. You as a family were like, it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
You're watching it.
We're having dinner and we're sitting down watching.
For us, it was Three's Company and Jefferson.
Right.
That was our thing,
man. Dude, all of that stuff, man. We used to watch like my family in Living Color.
You used to watch all that stuff?
Love that shit. They loved In Living Color. That's where like a lot. So when I was little, I'm little.
Yeah.
I'm absorbing that stuff, and then like Martin, loved Martin. Yo, it's really crazy when you think about it. Like,
that is crazy.
We also watch like 90210 Melrose Place. Whatever.
I think the whole world, the whole United
Everybody
States,
was watching. But yeah, you're right. Man, those type of shows, man. The bill collectors, they rang my phone, try to scare my wife when I'm not home.
Got a bum education, double-digit inflation, continue trained to the job is instruction
chasing, which in the time period was legitimately happening.
And at the time, King Kong was making a big thing.
King Kong standing on my back.
Yeah, stop it. Broke my sectability yet. I made brain migraine cancer.
Membrane sometimes I think I'm going to hijack a plane.
And the hijacking planes in the 80s was gigantic. 70s was gigantic.
Yeah.
So like this, man, and just those words, man. Like, don't you feel like that sometimes? You feel like, fuck it, man. I just want to go out like.
I swear I could just hijack a plane. Like you really. And you would hear, like, my folks would say that if they had a bad day at work.
But I'm just saying, it's like the reality of these lyrics, man.
Super raw.
It's so relatable. Like,
super raw.
And the bill collectors ringing my phone. At the time,
it was talking about scaring my wife.
Our phones, bring. And it wasn't like.
We didn't know who it was. You had to answer it.
And it wasn't none of that. I mean, you didn't have to, I don't want to talk. It was like, this could be life or death.
You don't know. It could be Mom Duke's in trouble.
And it was scary. Every time the phone rang,
because those guys would go hard. Particularly back then, man. I mean, like, they were aggressive. A lot of those practices got shut down.
And this is the time of credit, like, started happening too. Like, the 70s, credit just appeared. So, bill collectors ring my phone, scam my wife when I'm not home. All this was real. I mean, it's still real.
Oh my God, I know. That's why we just have the ability to, like.
Yeah.
But very different now. But that's still, that stress and that pressure is there. Not to the degree of what it was like back then, though. Once they had you on the phone, if you didn't hang up on them, like, you felt like they were going to come into your house.
Yeah, with bags.
Yo. Kids smoking reefer, I think it'd be cheaper if I just got a job, learn how to be a street sweeper.
Hustle my feet, learn the shirt and tie, run with the creeps because it's all about money. And
the damn thing funny, you got to have a con in this land of milk, honey.
It's so real.
Yo, I love that.
It's like, ride the train with the rats or something like that. Like, man, it's just everything that they're saying on this shit.
Yeah,
it's
man. I can't walk through the park. It's crazy.
Keep my hand on my gun.
So check this. Yeah, keep my hand on my gun because it got me on the run. Now I'm waiting in the courtroom, waiting on the outcome. Free Tupac is always on about mine. But at the same time, I said they're trying to take mine. That's where I first heard it.
For me, it was Ice Cube.
When he said, "Oh yeah, they got me on the run,"
because that was the War and Peace. Yeah,
War and Peace came way after.
I know, but that's the first time that I.
Oh, that's interesting though. So like that's the first time you hear it outside of context.
Yeah.
So I mean, again, I hadn't heard this record yet, and so when I heard him say this, and maybe that was one of the things about this video.
Man, hold on, man. It's just dance to the beat, shuffle my feet, wear a shirt and tie, and run with the creeps. That's so real. That's so real, man. Like you don't want to fucking go to work and with the fucking
man.
It's so real, man. Sorry to interrupt.
No. All I was trying to get at is like, you know, I think that's one of the reasons why I was so enamored with this. It's like I recognize this beat, I recognize this hook, I recognize that opening line. I recognize this line, that line. All these things have been used by so many people, right? Like, or referenced or homaged, and you just don't realize it. And so, like, it's just it's really one of those perfect songs that we always talk about, like just in general, like just particularly as like a period piece, man. It just like encapsulates it. Melly Mel's verse is the highlight.
It is,
right?
It is.
A child is born with no state of mind, blind to the ways of mankind. Got a smiling on you, but he's frowning too, because only God knows what you go through. Grow in the ghetto, live in a second like rate, and your eyes will sing a song of deep hate.
The places you play on where you stay
looking like one great big alleyway.
You admire all the number book takers, thugs, pips, and pushers, and the big money makers, driving big cars, spending 20s and 10s, and you want to go up to be
just like them.
Smugglers, scramblers, burglars, gamblers,
pickpocket, even panhandlers.
You say I'm cool, huh? I'm no fool, but then you wind up
dropping out of high school.
Now you're unemployed, all non-void, walking around like your pretty boy Floyd. Turn stick up kid, look what you done did. Got sitting up for an 8-year bid. Now the manhood is took and you're from Maytag.
Spend the next 2 years as an
undercover. You've been used and abused to serve like hell to one day. He was found dead in the sun.
It was plain
to see that your eyes
lost.
When you sing songs.
No. It was plain to see that your life was lost. You was cold and your body swung back and forth. Man, but now your eyes sing the sad song how you lived so fast and died so young.
What surpasses that? I have no idea.
I mean, let's be real, dog. Like every single bar, you almost feel like he was like in tears.
I'm sorry,
you had to have been in tears.
I had to like spit all that because it just you have to do it.
So it's one of the, in my opinion, it's got to be one of the most important verses, if not the most important verse in hip hop. Like this thing is the news channel. Like this is for people like me, right? Living in like where we at. And you see this on TV, and you see the video.
It's a different world.
It's almost like a movie, and the reality of that said movie is the reality that they're living in. And when you see just like war torn, and it's actual footage, like they're not on a TV set.
There's
it's heartbreaking.
Check this out, when you guys get
shocking.
You guys get a chance to check this out. Go type in on YouTube. Reagan goes to the Bronx. Okay, he goes to the Bronx. You see the buildings that are burned down, and he's trying to talk to the people, calm them down, because these people are pissed off that the government ain't doing shit. So they're like, well, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? And Reagan actually yells to the people. He's like, shut up! I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm not going to do a damn thing about it. This is some crazy shit. This is Reaganomics. This is the same time this is whole like country, well, not all of it, but there's some people that love Reagan. But 90%, and most of the people, 90%, were people in the Bronx, people in Manhattan, people in Queens, because you go there, literally, it's a different country at that time.
War zone,
at the time, man. Like no way how it is today, where you have rent $3,000 for a closet. But back then, it was war, crack everywhere, man. There was the pipes in the corners of the buildings. I saw glimpses of this, and then we moved to where we at now, and it's a different world. But I'm just saying, like, it's the real, man. That's the Get Down. It's the Get Down. And if you guys haven't,
if you haven't seen that, man, by now, you gotta see that. Honestly, when I was like doing some of my back study on for the show and everything, I was like, man, I kind of low key want to.
I want to rewatch it, right? Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and just spend like a weekend and just like drown out because it's so well done and it's a lot of fun and there's a lot of really dope references and it's a real dope glimpse into that time.
And the music of that time, man. I mean, like you had this going on, but you also had just a tiny bit later, you had electro be going on in the West Coast a lot, but that comes from the East Coast. But like it's such an eclectic type of music that you don't hear ever again unless it's sampled. But like the genres of the '80s and all like the music is just, I mean, even like again George Michael Jackson. Who else today can top those people? Like maybe Taylor Swift in a way, but not in a way.
I hear what you're saying. Because these were like they weren't just stars; they were mega stars.
World. I mean, these were like
global.
Yeah, I mean,
they knew Michael Jackson the way someone knows what Pepsi is.
Yeah, and Queen, even like rock, everything. Rick James.
That era was just gigantic.
Yeah,
just like massive players by that time period.
And again, rap. The reason I really got so much into rap is because of how real it was. Because everything else that I just named, you have your emotions. A lot
of love songs.
Those are great. Are real to a degree, but this
was a different time.
This is an everyday reality.
This was definitely like rock doc in the music video.
It's like I don't have to worry about loving this person if I'm not with this person, but I do have to worry about paying my bills. And this is the most real shit that I can be, listen to. It's like bill collectors ringing my phone. I mean, that's for reals, man. You know what I mean?
Also, just like the cautionary tale of Melly Mel's last verse, like you hear that and you're like, we know it.
That could be me. That could be everybody.
That could have been us, but that 100% was certain people. We've lost people to dumb shit because they wanted to go wrong with the street sweep.
We got people that are dead or locked up for a long time
because they fell into the traps that they were warning us about back in the 80s.
Man, that's why
so fucking crazy.
And that's why I have to say that, when you said that we had the comments and I was like, yeah, I can agree with that. Because the trajectory that this song, whether I was fully conscious about it or not, the trajectory that my life took because of this song.
Changed your life.
Yeah, like it was like, no, they can speak about the shit and they're like, if it can be done and they're doing this so cool, I can do it too. Instead of doing the stupid shit, I can talk about doing the stupid shit and the reality of what it is, letting other people know what those things are. Because Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5 did that for me. You know what I mean? Not saying that they didn't live it, but they talked about it, which is something that
needs to be heard.
Man. And especially now, everybody's all inclusive. Well, include the realities of the poverty. You know what I mean? Of the cracks, of the ghettos, of the alleyways, and all that shit. So. Yeah, man, it's not just like, so easy to include people. You gotta be the voice for the people that don't have voices.
That's exactly what
hip-hop is.
Hip-hop always has been, always will be. Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel, Furious 5, are flowers.
And I can always hear this song for the rest of my life.
It never gets old. I mean, it's one of those, the past couple of old school records we've been doing, it's been a lot of fun doing this in September. But, yeah, man, these are songs that it doesn't matter how many times I've heard them.
No,
let that run through.
Chubb Rock, that like that shit. I'll hear that. I'll hear that shit forever. 6'1" and another inch taller, bigger. Man, that whole era, man.
Yeah,
I will say this. Thank you, all those heads. Thank you for creating
16, 17.
Yeah, thank you for
nothing.
Thank you for creating something for
rummaging through
us,
through trash.
Man, just
taking glue and creating your version of cues.
Being so positive in such a negative world.
Being so hyper intelligent.
Yeah, man.
Think about what Grandmaster Flash did.
The mathematics behind it. And he
this is engineering. People went to school for this shit.
Not only that,
he dug into dumpsters and created like what the slip pads,
there's no music,
the needle breaks, how to track,
and how heavy the cartridge should be out with a needle. He would put like a penny on
the
it.
torque of the vinyl.
Yeah, and like, they're just the
people treating these things like, you know, they're like, don't touch the vinyl. Be very waxing.
He's
He's taking needles. He's like, no, you got to do this shit.
I will say this.
Radical.
Like, you know, it's sadly, it was DJing always eluded me, and I
know we were just talking about it before the show. It's one of the elements that we both really wish we didn't dabble in, that we dove into.
We have now like this. The size of this little circle is the size of what a new turntable is like. When we have new turntables, we have the.
It's never too late.
We have we haven't learned because it's hard.
It's also just it's real talent, man. It's so like breaking. Hard. Breaking is real talent.
That dexterity with your fingers, like the timing, like
being able to see that needle, like right, or that groove in the vinyl, like right here. Yeah, now I have actual trigger finger. Like I can't.
He a killer.
Don't ask how I got it. Don't ask how I got it. Yeah, here's a small 50 right there, man. You know, man. You can never run out of $50 ever again. We gotta have a small 50.
Nobody knows now.
50 for the show. Yo, dude, it is an hour and 15 minutes.
I saw that.
Record. This is about, remember the record, this is about ready to be the longest. This is about ready to be the longest episode we've ever done. Let's get to the games. All right, fire it up. Let's go. We're going to start with singles only. Aside from the hit single, The Message, what other chart-topping single is your favorite by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, and why? So we're going to go into a different document. My printer was dead, so I had to we're doing this off of my phone today. There are about 12, maybe more, records, but we rap more mellow. This is back when they were the younger generation. So before they became Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, they were called the younger generation. And so we rap more mellow. We had Flash of the Beat. We had Super Rappin', Freedom, which is a dope album. I like that one. The Birthday Party, and then The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash of the Wheels of Steel. From here, we're back into Grandmaster Flash of the Furious Five. We got Showdown, credited as the Furious Five meets the Sugar Hill Gang, right? It's Nasty, Genius of Love. It's one of the opener records to this album. Scorpio, one of the big hits from this album. New York, New York, Gold, Magic Carpet Ride. Now, there's a disassociation from Grandmaster Flash to the Furious Five.
Which is Grandmaster Flash.
Which would either be Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel, or it's like Melly Mel with the Furious Five. Like just like a couple of disambiguations, but this is where some of the bigger hits come in, so it's important to mention them. Signs of the Times, Alternate Groove, Girls Love the Way He Spins, Behind Closed Doors, Style, the Peter Gunn theme, all wrapped up. You know what time it is. Message 2, called Survival. All right, White Lines, don't do it. Beat Street Breakdown, Jesse, Step Off. We Don't Work for Free, King of the Streets, Pump Me Up, World War III, and in 1988, they ended it off with Vice.
Okay, so
those are the singles that they
Survival
released. That's it for you.
But then beneath that is Scorpio.
Scorpio's fun as fuck. You can tell that's a timepiece.
Yeah. See, so
watching people break into that shit.
Right. Scorpio. I like into the electro beat of that time, which was like a little bit of Houdini, some Africa Bambaataa, some Nucleus. Yeah, so it was all that, right? And I really dig that shit. You know?
You're big on the electro.
Yeah, so I really dig that. And then survival, man, that is the message too. That is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I now out of those two, which one I like the best? Always gonna be The Message, just because of the verse. Nothing.
Understood.
Nothing.
Understood. Out of all of the singles that we listed, dude, I mean, it's become a parody a little bit in today's society. A lot of people have kind of turned it into this funny thing. But White Lines
is such a great song.
It's an important record to also on a historical point, because think about it. This was back then where they're like, don't do it. This was hip hop's softer version of the Puppet Master from Metallica. This is a song where they talk about how this shit will kill you, right? And it was a good PSA not to do the hard shit, because they didn't glorify it. It wasn't cute. It wasn't pretty.
But
you didn't want to be a coke sniffer. You didn't want to be a fiend.
A coke fiend. in the streets.
You didn't want to be a crackhead. Like that wasn't glorified. Even like way late into the 90s, that was never like, we should totally do that. But we went from stay away from this shit and stay away from those people to being like, okay, look, I got to sell this shit to make the money. I got to do this thing in order to like survive.
Well, not only that, but you know.
But then we went from that to straight up fucking using it.
Well,
and glorifying.
Well, yeah, that's true because of Scarface, but like
that's definitely a turning point. Yeah,
like I will say this because this is the same time the Iran Contra scandal was starting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
This is the CIA. This is Central America. This is just finishing Vietnam. This is Frank Lucas. This is like all those heads. Like this is the Harlem mob. This is the Italian mob. This is what's going on. So there's so much to this, that one song, because there was another song, Don't Ride the Pony, by it's not rap, but it's along like it's about coke. So many songs about coke because it's just that time.
That was a big thing. But again, that was the universal message.
It's puro, man. Nah, but I mean that's what it was. Yeah, nobody wanted to be a dope. Nobody. I mean, it was heroin and coke and crack. Those were the three things that were big time when I was a little kid. And you know, nobody wanted to be none of that junks. You know, so of course this song is anti that. The whatchamacallit, Survival is anti that. The message is anti that. Like that's what I'm saying. They talked about it. They didn't do it. You see what I'm saying? Like
it was definitely more like red flag warning label stuff. And it's just funny that we went from don't do this shit to I'm on everything. You know what I mean? Like it's funny how the world turns, man. But anyway, so that's it for the singles only. Let's get into the deep cuts. Aside from the songs that garnered chart positions and or music videos, what is your favorite record off of the Message album? So we got She's Fresh, It's a Shame, The Mount Airy Groove, Dreaming About Stevie, You Are, God, Thank You, Jesus Christ, The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel. So let me take one solid crack at what your answer is to this.
Good.
I know what I'm going to say, but you're going to say The Adventures of Grandmaster Flash on the Wheels of Steel?
I'm going to say that.
It's such a great, but you know what, though? It's almost like a greatest hits album, right?
Yeah.
And it's a live performance.
Yeah. Like,
and
honestly,
every beat, you're like, oh, fuck,
I love the beginning of it. The beginning is the best part. But yeah, no, I mean, there was other songs there, too, that I did like, but it's the Wheels, man.
I mean, it's a classic.
It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I envied that shit out of all the heads that could do scratchings and shit. So, like,
I'm just hearing the reactions of the people in the record.
Yeah,
like, this is a real time.
And you're like there. You're like at the party.
You're at the party.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You're
like you want to throw it on and have a party.
Yeah, you do.
But I do love the travel down because each and every beat you hear, you're like, oh, there's that one. Yeah, I mean. I would argue that's the record, right? That's the one.
Man, God, even how it's
oh man, yeah, he does another one by
yeah, man.
And another one comes. So for me, if we're gonna take that one off the table, I do like She's Fresh. It's just a funny.
I like She's Fresh.
That's the one that like. She's Fresh is the one I want to hear at the live concert on the lawn.
There's a lot of
watching that performance.
There's a lot of the beats too that like, you hear like later down.
Which is why I gotta do It's a Shame, man. And even the Mount Airy Groove. That's
the fucking beat. The fucking beat.
Hey, man. Teacher, what? Talk to me about what? Peace. There is no peace.
I love what
that whole shit is real shit.
I love what they're saying.
And it pulled me. The beat pulled me in because it started. Who was it that did that? It's a shame.
So many, man. So many.
You're right though. It was used by Mad Heads.
Yeah,
the instrumental.
That's why we can't be like, oh, it's this guy.
Yeah, right.
I mean, like,
but dude, that just the first beginning verse before like the hook comes in. It's a shame that the people won't stick together.
There's a lot of singing, but there's a lot of truth. That's why I'm saying it's the most hip hop, the most unhip hop.
I think that's the best. I mean, for someone listening to this raw 2024, this is the most hip hop
without being the most
non-hip hop album there ever was. I mean, because it really is. It's disco. It's funk. It's electric funk. You know,
and some singing.
It's that soul R&B.
So yeah, like
pop. It's that. And then there's the hip hop, but it's also the fact that it's the creation of so many things, from the intelligent rap.
Yeah, and so much. You know,
the MC being the priority.
But it's weird, like, because I can listen to those records, the party records from back in the day, and be like, yo, I still dig this. If I listen to the party records today, I'm like, I don't dig this. Maybe I'm biased. Maybe it's a generational thing, but
like the current party records.
Yeah, but it's like These Are the Breaks is one of the best. Like,
I love
these.
Just the other day, you lost your job. Like, your car won't start. You're like, damn it, man.
A big Cadillac. like, oh man, that's why I dig it, man.
The breaks. I love these. All the breaks. Break it up. Get down.
And just the music, that thing,
like banging on trash cans.
Yeah, like, it's such a great time.
It's a great time.
It was such a great thing to be able to live through these eras and these things. And you know, you got your kid. I ain't got no kids, but I'm saying
I had Anna listening to the message this morning, yo.
I'm saying, like, it's like, and then, like, at least she knows.
I was explaining to her how important this is, and that's like right when she came in. It's right when the undercover thing.
She's like, father.
She was like, really? She was really like ready to like play, and didn't understand. I had to get out to do the podcast.
No, it's all good. It's all good. But.
So let's do the verses real fast, man. There's not a lot of them because, you know, I mean, time restraint anyways, right? So first off, I mean, this iconic beat. I mean, we got to give it to Ice Cube and Daz Effects. Check Yourself versus Puff Daddy, Mace, Hold Me Down. I can't believe I left this other lady off. Her record is pretty dope, but
you got the classics. But I mean,
I got to tell you, man, it's so. I mean, particularly with not only is it controversial. Ice Cube and Daz Effects, Check Yourself is easily the more intelligent and more important record. It's the better record.
Yeah. With the energy?
No, it's just this was the first time. Puff Daddy and Mace is when I heard it.
See, I can't. I don't want to get diddled again.
I know it's the wrong time to support it, but that record was a lot. Like,
see, I don't know, man.
I played the shit out of that record.
Look, I'll be honest with you.
I don't even remember a line from it.
Look, I remember
just the hook
yesterday. Fucking anytime, that came on, and I was like, and as soon as I started hearing Puffy's voice, I'm like, no, I was like. Honestly, like, I never was a big fan of Puffy. I like Biggie, I like Mace, I like, you know, Junior Mafia, but Puffy was whatever's, right? But now that I hear him, I'm like, yeah, I can't take him serious. Like, I can't.
It's tough, man. There's artists like that, man. I'm not gonna start going down the list and just start shitting on people, but there are artists I hear where I struggle with it.
Like R. Kelly, I can still listen to it because I'm like, that to me, that's musically awesome. Like.
He was always kind of corny.
Puffy, yeah. Puffy was major corny.
He was always corny. And now we got this.
What was it? The Bangladeshi breast milk? Like
Cambodian
breast milk.
That's 100% pure Cambodian, man.
Nah, it's like, go get...
Wait, what was it? Breast milk?
It's like, go
get my day.
What do you say? He's like, go get me a cookie. Like from wherever.
I'm shutting down the studio, and every time they shut down the studio, like somebody either like lifts him up, carries him out, takes his whole couch.
Oh my god!
He never walks out of the.
Oh man!
Yo, Doug, that sketch.
Chappelle, I gotta give you that shit.
That sketch, no matter how, I mean, it's like prevalent now because of this shit.
Fuck your couch. No, that's a different one.
No, yeah, but I mean, yo,
still
all of that stuff.
No, I know what. Like,
the 5 fingers head to the face.
That's a slash. No, I can't get down with Puffy, man.
Blouses.
I mean, look, music.
I hear you, man.
It's not even that. It's like, because I'm like, okay, that was Sting. Okay, that was
understood.
You know, it has nothing. He's nothing.
But I'll be missing you was when they did what was that, the MTV Awards, and like he comes out and does the song, and then Sting shows up. I'm like, who the hell's this old white guy?
Yeah, well, that's because you're uneducated. You're uncouth.
Dude, we used to make look. I remember on like Twitter, like people were being when it was Twitter, people were like being picked on because they were like, look at all these young kids that don't know shit about Paul McCartney. Because like I think either Kanye or Jay-Z, one of them did a song with him, and they were like, it's so nice and cool that they bring out like these artists and like give them a chance to have exposure because you know people don't know who they are and to show love. And we're like, you're talking about fucking Paul McCartney, bro.
Yeah.
So I get that I was that problem. I didn't look. We didn't do studying until later. You know,
it was we.
Me, I didn't really do studying until later. And what I'm trying, so like the Sting thing, it wasn't until I saw the live where I was like, hold on, what is that record then? And he was like, I'll be watching you. You have me, and you were the one that showed it to me.
Really, for reals?
You're like, you don't know I'll be watching.
It's like
8. And then you start showing me like gold, like you start showing me all the shit and the police, and like we sat down and like did our thing or whatever.
Oh, Notes is another one.
Yeah, we were listening to all that shit in that moment.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
And then suddenly now I've been exposed to this era and sound of music, right? Yeah. Like that's how this shit works, man. But like you have to first be like, this shit's fly. I never heard Enya. No. I didn't know what Enya was. Rabbi and Not. As soon as that shit came,
I heard Enya before.
I heard Enya, but I didn't hear that song.
I heard that song before because I was like, "This would be awesome hip hop shit."
Yo, that's crazy.
You're in the cool.
Oh my, get the fuck out of here, man. Get down. Okay, so there's that right there. So then the Furious 5. Let's do this. Let's do some number rappers from back in the day. We got Furious 5, White Lines versus Treacherous 3.
There's so many number rappers.
Hold on, we got Furious 5, White Lines, Treacherous 3, Yes We Can versus Funky 4+1. That's the joint.
Oh, it's White Lines, man.
White Lines is heavy.
White Lines beats. I mean, it's
that's
up
the
there
joint.
with the message.
Yo, I love that's the joint though.
I mean, that's the joint.
And I'm not gonna lie, Treacherous 3. These some serious heads in here.
No, they're all serious heads. But I'm just saying,
a lot of what Treacherous 3 is doing is off the coattails of Furious 5, man.
But still, I mean, why go for the?
But I mean, when they
why
all
go for the stick when you can go for the cow?
Why go for a 10 when you go for the 50? Put that small 50 right there, dog. Let's go.
Put them in the bathroom.
All right, so White Lines. Okay. So what about this? I think we brought up African Bambaataa in the other one. So let's do this. We got Grandmaster Flash. We got to do our DJs. Grandmaster Flash, DJ Cool Herc, Jam Master J.
Well, Cool Herc is the father. I mean, now.
What about some significance though?
Now,
like
skill-wise.
Cool Herc takes this.
That's
thing.
what I'm saying. Skill-wise.
Grandmaster Flash elevates it.
Yeah.
And Jam Master J exposes it to the world.
So I can't because each one did a different thing to it.
That was massive.
Yeah, I mean,
without the three of these cats.
No, you couldn't say nah. Well,
we're not picking one.
No,
we're just gonna leave these guys on Mount Rushmore.
Rest in peace to
Jam Master
J, man. That,
fucking terrible,
man. That's just
that was one of the worst things.
Yeah, man. Just another one, man. For reals. We got to stop. And you know what's really fucked up? And I'm about to say it. I feel like this generation, this is just fucked up because now we're talking about 4 generations. This generation needs another Stop the Violence.
We need another Stop the Violence.
But we haven't stopped.
Rappers from today.
Right, but we haven't stopped in 40 years.
Yeah. No, man.
That's what's sad, man.
But I think it's because we lost Cowboy, right? To the violence, right?
And not only that, Scott LaRock to crack.
And you're right. We just mentioned Jam Master J, right?
Yeah.
Biggie Pac.
All these kids today, they're like,
it's just one after the other, and it's not. Some of them, they're like getting they're ODing, and that's tragic. Some of them are committing suicide. But a lot of these cats, they're like getting yoked for change, popped and dropped, like stupid shit. People are dying for dumb shit, and it's sad fucking senseless.
Because look, man,
it makes me so sad.
I don't know what's wrong with this generation. I don't, because you look at our generation. Yeah, you had people like Ice Cube, you had people like Snoop Dogg, you had people like Kanye, you had people like Tribe.
There was a balance.
Today, there's no balance.
It really is off the scale.
Everybody's that.
So when does that change, man? Because you're right, it's like the drill thing. It's all of this shit, right? Like this stuff is, and a lot of this is it's dope. It's like their gangster rap of their era.
But it's just
props to them, man. But you're right, there isn't something to give that ear the other side.
No, I mean, trust me, it would be amazing if I can hear somebody with some tight drill beats, 808s, talking about the stuff like Grandmaster Flash or Queen Latifah or Tribe or Common or whoever would get down and
aren't
talk about
our people.
Yeah, that aren't from our generation.
Because I mean, look, the Common P Rock shit just came out. The LL shit just came out. There is stuff that's tapping in.
Yeah.
But like, it's our shit, and so they aren't checking for that.
No. And it's like these kids need it more than ever.
Kids don't know Chino XL died today, like recently. Like, they don't know that. They don't care about that.
And it's crazy because like you see it, and like I saw this post. They were like, it's all over Instagram. So what's so special about this guy? No, everybody's
fucking shocked. I'm sure that entire comment section exploded.
It's I'm gonna.
How dare you?
I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna quote Pachanga from Carlitos Way. Carlitos, it's crazy out here. These young kids today, they shotgun you just so you can see you fly. That's
really what it is, man.
That's what it is.
God,
if you stay in jail, Carlito.
Yo, shit.
Well,
man, listen. We have to hit this outro. This is it's gonna be a 2-hour show.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. Like, this is like the shortest album.
We gotta stop. We gotta stop now.
You don't want to talk about Melly Mel and Eminem real quick?
No, fuck that shit. I'm Melly Mel all day.
No, just playing. There's no comparing. There's no verses.
Every day, all day.
There's no verses.
Melly Mel team right here. Let me see my muscles.
Yo, okay, guys, listen. Thank you very much for watching this show. Please like, subscribe, follow. Whatever streaming site you're listening to, get on board and help us support and expand on our units, man. This is an opportunity for us to get together. We'd love to hear comments and speak with you guys directly. Message us whenever you want to.
Yeah, man. For real.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, X, YouTube, Facebook, the whole nine, man. We're out here. You know what I'm saying? Remember the record, The Rapper's Corner. October, once again, next month. We don't know what order, but we're going to be tapping into Brother Lynch Hung, 3-6 Mafia, DMX, Necro, at the very least. If you want to hear a certain horrorcore artist or a certain song, leave it in the messages. We might take one of these and go, hey, listen, we got people that want to hear something different.
Yeah, man. I mean,
if we rock with it, if it's something that we remember the record, like, yeah, we'll happily do it as long as it's something from back in the day. I don't want to hear something from tomorrow.
EBK every day, all day to the day I die. Gotta give it to my mans, man. Gotta give it to Brother Lynch. That's my mans. But no,
so, we'll be tapping in on that.
For reals, like everything John said, and we're parting with this, man. If you're gonna take anything, take this from this episode. We talked about the message because the message needed to be talked about.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And how I said, these kids today are killing each other just for stupid shit. We did the same thing, and prior to us, they did the same thing, and it's been 30 fucking years.
When shit gonna change?
When's it gonna change?
How's it gonna change?
We did our thing. I know some conscious rappers out there. I know you guys, some kids exist. We're giving you the mantle. Please do what your generation needs. And it's a wake-up call for reals, because it hurts us seeing all this talent just dying for no reason. Okay, it's old age. It's old age or whatever. Now this is why we're dying, because we're old and whatever. Like, you kids, man, you guys got a whole fucking thing in front of you. You can make a beautiful thing. This message needs to be heard. The message needs to be said. The message needs to be spoken about. So mad props to Grandmaster Flash. Mad props to Furious 5. Mad props to all the heads that made this something that me and John could talk about and do and fucking keep us off the streets and shit.
Absolutely, man.
Mad love.
That's it, man. I don't know what else to say about it right there. That's it. We out here. Blah, blah, blah.